Good evening and welcome to the Adora Pool and Ice Center here in Fort Collins, Colorado. And tonight's game, there is no tomorrow for the loser of this game, as is the first playoff for the Big Mountain Hockey Conference. And the fifth and the fourth seed will go and battle tonight. CSU, coming in last place in the division, will welcome the home Wyoming Cowboys as they will travel to Fort Collins. They will be the home team tonight. They weren't able to get ice in Wyoming, so that is why tonight's game is here in Fort Collins. We'll take a look at the matchup between these two teams. They played 3 times this season, and the record goes to Wyoming with a 2-1 record against CSU. CSU played on October 24th. They won by a final score of 5-2. And then in the last 2 matchups, it was all Wyoming with the back-to-back 4-2 victory, one on November 14th and the other on December 6th. Take a look at the season after 31 games played for Wyoming. They have an 11-19 record this season, and they're 1-2 in their last 3 games. It started off with a rough game at the Promenade, lost 9-4 versus Metro State, and then going on the road to New Mexico, they won the first game 5-3, but then afterwards, the next game they lost 5-1. For the CSU, it's been a tough stretch the end of season. The Rams currently on a 6-game losing streak to end the regular season, but tonight an opportunity to start a new season, and the winner of this game will go and play the first place CU Buffs tomorrow. That game will that game will happen at the CU Student Rec Center at 3 p.m. And there will be another game tomorrow. That will be between the 3rd and the 2nd seed. That is Metro State and DU. That game will also be on Saturday at 2:30. That game will be on Price Productions. The starting 5 for CSU, we'll start with them going in net. Usually Cross North will get the call, but Doug Sheridan will put number 30, Mason Bean, in net. The 2 defensemen out tonight will be Tyler Vaughn to get the start and Logan Warfield. And the 3 forwards will be Carson Petz, Justice Harrison, and Easton Harrison. And that will be your starting 5 for CSU. On the other hand, it will be Jesse Easterwood in net, number 51. He gets most of the workload in the season. Didn't play in the game against Metro State, but it's good to see him back in the lineup. The defensive pairing for Wyoming will be Nate Venice and Patrick McGrath. And the 3 forwards will be Braxton Thomas, Joe May, and plays with the final score of 5-3. And they're looking to do the same tonight. Sean Rosenberger with you on the call. And we are excited to get this game under the way. The Zamboni is doing its work. We'll take a step aside, and when we come back, the first period of the Big Mountain Hockey Conference playoffs will start. Sean Rosenberger stepping aside. Welcome back to the Epic Ice Center here in Fort Collins, Colorado. It is the first game of the Big Mountain Hockey Conference playoffs, and the 5th seed and the 4th seed will do battle here in Fort Collins. The winner of this game will play tomorrow against the first place CU Buffs, and that is always a tough task as CU has absolutely been dominated this season. I want to give you guys a look at what the overall regional rankings for the 5 teams in the Big Mountain Classic. At the top, obviously, the ranked number 7 in the West, University of Colorado, and then dropping all the way down from 10 to 15, the University of Denver is at almost on the thread of dropping out of the regional ranking, and then MSU sits at 19, and then the Wyoming and Colorado State sitting at 24th and 27th respectively in the region. We'll get starting lineups here. We'll turn it over to the PA announcer in Fort Collins.
For the starting lineup for the home team, we have number 7, Dax Thomas. Number 77, Joe May. Number 2, Brax Thomas. Number 28, Patrick McGrath. Number 24, Nate Venus. And number 51, Jesse Easterton. And now for your visiting CSU Rams. Number 28, Easton Harrison. Number 29, Justice Harrison. Number 8, Carson Petz. Number 17, Tyler Vaughn. Number 12, Logan Warfield. And in net, number 30, Mason Bean. Please stand up and remove your caps and quit playing the national anthem.
Welcome in, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in here on Price Productions for tonight's matchup. The first game of the playoffs for the Big Mountain Hockey Conference, brought to you by Sagent Financial, our lead sponsor for this year's playoffs. We'll talk about it again, as it was this scene last year where CSU and Wyoming played exactly this same game, but over in Greeley, and it was CSU that skated away with a 5-3 victory. And one of the goals to top it off, it was an absolute stunner by Zach Carlton that helped his team skate away. Unfortunately, CSU would go on and lose against Metro State in the next game. But a chance for CSU to start on the right track, and a new season starts for both of these teams. It's been a struggle for both Wyoming and CSU, as Wyoming with an 11-19 record and CSU with a 5-24 record. It's been a struggle. But the past is in the past, and we look forward to the present. Sean Rosenberger on the call. A pleasure to bring you CSU games all year, as Justice Harrison will step into the face-off circle with Joe May, and this playoff game is underway. As Warfield, fans on his back, out in front, a quick chance, and a shot, they score! 10 seconds in, Wyoming. And we have a CSU player down. That's going to be Braxton Thomas. That puts the Cowboys up by 1. And I believe the player that is down, that's number 22, Max Newmeyer. I think from this angle, it could either be, and that is a scary sign, that's Justice Harrison down on the ice for the Rams. And in just 10 seconds of this game, absolutely disaster for the Rams. Mason Bean made the first save, but the rebound came right to the stick of Braxton Thomas. He was able to put it into.
Oh, shit!
See on the instant replay there. And Justice Harrison, he's hurt. And the medical staff is out there. Seems like he's maybe holding on to that leg of his. Jackson O'Brien standing over and hoping that his teammate is okay. Justice Harrison, what a huge addition that he's been this season. Both him and his brother, his first year on the team, they both came from Calgary, Alberta. And in just 22 games played, I know the stats are a little bit out of date, but a big impact. He leads the team with points and goals. He had 11 goals and 7 assists. And like I said, in the road trip they went to Arizona, I didn't quite get a chance to look at the stats and see who was on the score sheet. He might have added a couple to his point total, but scary, scary start to this game for the Rams and the fans in attendance. Off the block, it came right to the stick of, Braxton Thomas. So for number 2 for the Cowboys, he's played 24 games this year. 4 goals make it 5 now, 10 assists with 14 points. It's also his and his brother's first year with the team. Last year he played with the Casper Oilers. In those, he played 20 games, had 28 goals and 26 assists. As you see on your screen that Eustace Harrison needs the support of 2 of his teammates to skate to the locker room, and just absolute disaster for the Rams to start this off. Harrison will get help to the locker room. And those here in attendance give them a little bit of support. And so after all that, a 1-0 lead for the home team. Another oddity for tonight's game, technically in the standings, Wyoming is ahead of CSU in the standings. So they are the home team tonight. However, CSU is sitting on the home side. And Wyoming's in the visitor as this puck gets sent out of play into the netting. And again, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, that Wyoming wasn't able to get any ice in Laramie. If you remember last year, that game was played in Greeley. And all 4 of the Big Mountain Classic games for Wyoming was also played at the Greeley Ice House. As Schmidt will take this in, the Rams, the only positive fact of that goal is you still have nearly 50 minutes left of the game to tie this up as a turnaround shot from O'Brien. Easterwood clicks his away. Rams trying to get back into work. Neutral zone pass intercepted by Warfield. Gets it onto the stick of Aiden Schmidt. The Rams look to set it back up. Over to Barton. Welcome back to the ice, number 24, but here's the captain, Bullard. Cross ice pass off the ricochet. Another shot sent wide of the net. That was number 7 coming in. That was Daxton Thomas. May battles it out in front, intercepted by Nate Bishop. That's Kirk Slaw. Rams will get a full change. Slaw goes on the forecheck, almost stripped that away. Thomas send this over to the neutral zone. Venice on the stick of May. Joe May Drop it off. Another turnaround shot off the side of the net. I think Bean got a piece of it. Gets it up to McGrath. Kicks it to his stick. Back behind the corner. Wyoming getting set up early in this game. Out in front and another shot. McGrath, another save. Bean and the rebounds there. Goes in the corner. Over to McGrath with space. Another shot. Rebounds out there. Backhanded a shot. They score. Daxton Thomas on the board, so he joins his brother and the Cowboys with a 2-goal lead. And CSU just not able to get out of their own zone as, again, another puck, a favorable bounce to the stick of Daxton Thomas. He was able to beat Mason Bean, and so after just a couple of shots faced, Bean's night is over. Cross North enters the game. So on 3 shots faced, 2 goals given up, and Mason Bean's night is over. But if you're CSU right now, you need to stop the bleeding early on in this game. I can't say I was not surprised when I looked at the lineup sheet tonight and saw that Mason Bean did get the start. Mason Bean is a very capable and good goaltender, but throughout the season, Cross North has been your #1 guy. So Bean exit, North is in the game. Wild will send this around the boards to see if the Rams can get something going. David Marcus sends this into the corner. And this will be icing on the Rams, so the Wyoming with another opportunity set up in the Ram zone. Excuse me. You saw on the replay there the last goal. So for Daxton and Braxton, the right place at the right time. And that's where the Cowboys lead after 2. Swept into the board by White. The Rams will get a line change. White having a conversation before he exits the bench. Braxton Thomas. Cross ice over to his brother, a little bit too far from him, but he able to turn around, put this into the corner. Tyler Vaughn now from the safety of his own net. Away from the play, Braxton Thomas took a tumble. Long shot from distance. Williamson will skate to the bench. The Rams trying to get anything going. Here might be a chance. A shot from the point. A big save from Easterwood. That was Logan Warfield with a prime chance there. Easterwood comes up big. Vaughn will swing this up and around the boards. Donnellan will get there first. Sends it back to Thomas out in front. And North had to deny that centering pass, and might be the first penalty of the game. I believe this is going to be on Wyoming as Wyoming's door opens up. We'll see which player gets called. So it's going to be Braxton Thomas in the box. So the first power play will go to CSU, a chance to cut into this 2-goal deficit. If you're just joining us, Wyoming with 2 early goals in the period, one of them just coming 10 seconds into the game from Braxton Thomas, and then his brother Daxton joining the goal scoring as well. So the Rams on the power play, an area that's kind of hurt them this season. Power play has kind of been a thorn in the side for the Rams. Has a hard time generating anything going, and we've seen a lot of shorthanded goals for this Rams side this year. Let's see if they can get anything going on. Right now, nothing doing. Neumeier will skate this into the near circle. Behind the net for Schmidt. Surveys. Back to Neumeier. Cross ice on the top of the point. Shot from long distance and a rebound saved by Easterwood. Schmidt was in the area, wasn't able to get a shot away. Kept it in the zone. To the top of the point for Wild, Over to O'Brien, the captain. Jackson, a shot and a good save with the stick from Easterwood. Good move by Jackson O'Brien there. And he'll send this on again. Rebound. Pushed into the corner. Couple of chances there. Schmidt was, again, in the right area, just wasn't able to get a stick on that rebound. 50 seconds left on the first power play of the game. Schmidt will skate this offsides. I believe that Kirk Slaw was a little bit ahead of him. So near red circle, face-off will come. Cowboys win this. Milliman will try to get this out. Gloved down by Sleds. Warfield able to keep this in. Gives it back to Warfield. Up and around the board. Slaw will be the first one to it. Behind the net for Sleds. A second power play unit out for Colorado State. Good passing here for the Rams. A little bit too much passing. A Slaw. Shot from the point, and Easterwood will cover this in the chest. Tyler Vaughn with the look there. No rebound given up. Want to thank all 42 of you watching from home. Both teams traveled really well tonight. Both Cowboy fans and CSU fans in attendance. And just on the other rink, right next to us, the D1 team is playing against the Missouri State Grizzlies as we speak right now. The last time I looked at that game, it was a 1-goal advantage for Missouri. So packed house here at the Epic Ice Center. A lot of people in attendance for both Rams sides. Out in front. And another shot. Sleds wasn't able to get that, pull the trigger on it. Power play is over. Sleds again, a shot and a save with a stick from Easterwood. So no harm, no foul for the Cowboys. They will maintain that 2-goal advantage. Nifty moves in the neutral zone by May. Drops it off for Thomas. Get it over to May, and then backhand pass back to Thomas. Wraparound chance there. Good defensive sticks from the Rams. Another shot sit up and over the net. I think North got a piece of that with the glove, and a big hit. Sleds gets knocked to the ground. That was a good physical check from the Cowboys. Marcus gets stripped of the stick, and I believe there's going to be another power play coming up for the Rams. I believe David Marcus got tied up, and this might be a slashing. See which penalty box door opens, and it will be, okay, so it's going to be a Wyoming power play, as David Marcus was in fact the instigator of that penalty. So after going 0 for 1 on their power play, Wyoming has a chance to add on to their 2-goal advantage. Last time that we saw Wyoming in action here on Price Production, it was the game against Metro State where they lost 9-4, but the scoreboard at one point in the second period, that game was much closer. Wyoming tied it up 3-2. And just as I'm explaining on here, the penalty box for the Cowboys open up. So Marcus exits the bench. We'll see who goes in for the Cowboys. No one yet. Donalyn, they're having conversation. So Braxton Thomas is going into the box again. Excuse me, not again, but so another power play opportunity for the Rams. There's a little bit of confusion as Marcus was the Rams player that skated into the penalty box, but another chance. The first power play didn't provide much. So the Rams look to see what they can get going on this opportunity. A couple of chances. Aiden Schmidt was in the vicinity on a couple of those rebounds. Clearing attempt, kept in by Wild. Tried to get it over to Schmidt. Wild would pinch in, a bad move there. Donalyn with a break. Might be a shorthanded opportunity for the Cowboys. A shot saved by North. Okay. That was a good save by Cross North. His first of stick goes flying here as Donalyn loses his stick in frustration, will lay a hit on Max Newmeyer, who's on this first power play. Stick goes flying, whistle blows. We'll see if there's any more customers coming into the penalty box, and there will be. So what was a 5-on-4 for CSU quickly becomes a 4-on-4 as Lucas Wild will sit his turn in the penalty box. So for 1:37, we'll have 4-on-4 hockey. And then Wyoming will have a minimal power play opportunity for roughly about 20 seconds. So Wild, I believe it will be called slashing, as obviously as that stick goes up and almost out of the netting. Bullard back on the lineup. Bullard not able to get a shot off. Good pass, turnaround shot, they score! Mario Rodriguez makes it a 3-0 game, and this is a nightmare start for the CSU Rams. Mario Rodriguez, we've seen him.
That was beautiful.
The score sheet in the previous.
That was beautiful. I got
You
it.
can see it on the replay there. Able to get that over to Rodriguez, and he just roofs it past North. North was a little bit out of position there. And Rodriguez made no mistake for that. So on the 4-on-4, Wyoming just having their way early in this game, as North will cover this up with the glove. Both teams, 5 shots on goal. 2 of those shots were goals past Mason Bean. Shot off the face-off, didn't get on net. The Rams need to cut into this deficit fast. Shot from the point, Easterwood will make the easy save from Max Neumeyer's wrist shot. Still a minute 3 left on 4-on-4 hockey. And then again, the Cowboys will get an abbreviated power play. They've already scored. They're looking to add on more. Amos over to Venice. Good pass here, and another shot. A great save by North up in the chest. Over to Easton Harrison. Cross ice gets blocked, but onto the stick. Carson Pett, overskated the puck. McGrath will send this over to Struber. Tried to get it over to McGrath, gets intercepted by Neumeyer. 31 seconds left, 4-on-4. Neumeyer tried to get it to the net, gets stripped. Good defensive play there by Amos. Petz, there's a Wyoming Cowboy that took a tumble. Petz tried to get into the center of the ice, but no Ram was there. Rodriguez again with speed. Mario had a good save there by North. Rodriguez will take a check from behind the net. That was Nate Solquez. So Neumeyer in his own zone. Wait until things get set up. Over to Solquez. Up and into the play. Sleds forechecking there. It comes to Sleds, and he'll take another hit from Ian Bullard. Connor Sleds, that's 2 big checks on him already. Centering pass intercepted by the Cowboys. Venice will get this over to Bullard. Bullard, a couple of nifty moves, and then he'll get sandwiched between 2 Rams. But after that, Bullard on top of the Ram. That's Nate Solquez. He did a couple of shots to the face, and this is going to be a power play for CSU, as Ian Bullard just absolutely just kept punching Solquez while he was on the ground. Hansen gets bumped off there. Schmidt off the bench and will finally touched up. So Ian Bullard is going to get sent to the box. So another as a power play opportunity again. So it'll be the 3rd of the game. CSU not able to get anything generated. Their second one only short-lived to turn 4-on-4. For this power play, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors for New York Life. Your future built with confidence. Financial decisions are easier with the partner by your side. New York Life's agents and advisors take the time to understand your goals and dreams so you can build the future you imagine. So another power play coming up. See if the Rams cut into this lead. Warfield shot from the point, rebound, and a quick whistle there as the Easterwood make the first save. The puck came right out. Not a favorable whistle there. Minute 47 on this third power play opportunity. Face-off won by the Cowboys, sent up and down the ice. Wild will wait for the play to set up, gets it off the boards, and no Ram there again. A miscommunication on this power play. Wild again. Over to Schmidt on the tape. Schmidt tried to get it over to Barton, a little bit too far from him, and Amos will get checked into the Rams bench. Good hit there by Wild. Already a minute gone on this power play. CSU not able to get any shots yet. Wild, shot tip, rebound, comes out. No Ram was able to put it home. O'Brien will push this over out in front. Barton wasn't able to get a shot there. Vaughn kept it in. Another shot glove save by Easterwood. The only thing optimistic to look out for the Rams so far is there's still a lot of game ahead of you. If you want to get scored on in bunches, I believe the first period is the best to do that. But they got to score on one of their special play opportunities. Again, it's just been a struggle all year long for this Rams side. Thomas had a step on the puck, loses it. The Rams able to collect. Can't get out of the zone. Now on the stick for White. White gets it over for Marcus. The puck a little bit too far from him. Skips the check of Venice. The collect is in the corner. Marcus circling corner. Over to Neumeier, shot. And an easy glove save by Easterwood. Rams are getting the shot on the point, but Easterwood, nobody in front of his eyes, and so able to see that puck all the way. 16 seconds left on this power play of the Bullard Minor. Rams, 16 seconds left to operate. Face-off controlled by the Cowboys, clearing attempt off a skate. Rams able to keep it in. Williamson over to White. Back to the point to Neumeier. Shot from the point, and a good blocker save from Easterwood. Over to Vaughn. Power play over, tipped, rebound, Marcus, another shot, another save, and the Cowboys able to get it here off of the bench. Bullard had to step away from it, almost had a shorthanded opportunity. Martinez pushes it over to Bullard. A quick shot off the post, and out of play. A couple of chances towards the end of that power play. There was White and a couple of other Rams players out in front were able to put it past Easterwood. Right after the power play ended, Bullard had a step on that. North played it off the boards, but waiting for it was Martinez. When you have this first line for the Cowboys, they're so dangerous for all the teams in the conference. There's a big three-headed monster in Martinez, Rodriguez, and Bullard. I'll even throw Joe May in there as well, getting production from all of those forwards. As Rodriguez tried to get around one, gets tripped up, no call. Petz, cross eyes almost intercepted. Over to Hansen on the tape for Marcus. A shot and save, rebound comes out in the slot. Harrison not able to get there. And if you just joined right in the 10-second mark of the first period, Justice Harrison out of the game from a block shot he took on the first goal of the game. So the Rams without their leading point getter. Turnaround shot blocked there. Good play by Donnellan. As Hansen trying to fish for the puck. Does so. Gets it over. Harrison, a shot and another block. Kept in by the Rams. Good play by Lotzler. Rams try to keep it in. The forecheck working. Solquez backs off from this puck and will retrieve it in the neutral zone. Backhanded over for Petz. And the Rams will get a full sail line change. 7:46 left in the first period. A 3-goal advantage for the Cowboys. Rams looking to answer. They already had 3 power plays so far in this game, not able to cash home any. Slaw pushes up the point off the boards, intercepted by Millimon in the neutral zone. Waiting for it, Struber. Not able to hold that puck cleanly. Amos on his horse in the corner. Shawns will take this behind the net. Loses the puck momentarily. Eventually he'll go over to Connor Sleds. Sleds gets around one, has a man on front, shot blocked. Didn't get it on net. Over for Millimon now. Gets stripped in the neutral zone by Shawns. The Rams will get another line change. So will the Cowboys. The neutral zone now. Quick shot, not on net. Simcox got 2 goals against Metro State. Gets it up to Millimon. Shot from the point, tipped, saved by North. Puts it up to the corner. O'Brien will dump this into the opposite corner in the Cowboy zone. Schmidt racing forward, gets over to Harrison, tried to get it around 1, gets stripped of the puck, gets back to Harrison. The Cowboys will transition the other way. Evan Heck now from his own zone will send it up off the boards. May will collect his puck. A 2-on-1 developing for the Cowboys. Cross ice pass, a shot saved by North. Rebound kicked out by North. And there will be a slashing penalty coming up on the Cowboys. So it's a 4th power play opportunity of this period. As another Cowboy is going to skate to the box. I believe that's going to be Joe May with a slashing call. But an absolute huge save from North. 2-on-1 developing, able to make the first save and the second one. May in the box, a 2-minute infraction. And again, another opportunity for the Rams to cut into this deficit. See if this is the one that can break the ice for the Rams. Vaughn with some space, has a man on front and a good pass for O'Brien, wasn't able to get the shot. Right place, right idea, just poor execution on the Rams side. Kept in by Neumauer. Over for Barton. Gets it for Schmidt. Across ice, no one home. Back to Neumauer. Shot from the point. Rebound. Sent into the corner. 3 Rams converge on it. Vaughn will be the first one there. Schmidt to the point for O'Brien. Looking for a lane. Gets blocked. Kept in though. Cross ice. Over for Schmidt. Shot from the point. Rebound. The rebound gets tipped into the corner. A minute gone in the power play, and this will be sent down in the direction of North. 5 minutes left in the first period, the 4th power play opportunity for the Rams. A couple of good chances there. Still haven't figured out how to beat Easterwood yet. Williamson will put this into the corner. 2nd power play unit out for Doug Sheridan. Clearing attempt kept in for Warfield. Over for Wild. Shot, tipped, saved. And Easterwood will cover up. Still time, 41 seconds left on this power play. The Rams win the face-off. Warfield will cross ice pass over for Wild. Wild gets it on for Marcus, not able to get a shot on. Just handcuffed him in his skates. Warfield off the boards. White there as well. Looked in the middle. Williamson not able to get a shot off. Kept in. The Rams still working. Marcus makes a nifty move. David Marcus, a shot sent wide in the corner. Missed his location. Down to the point. 11 seconds left on this power play. Rebound! And the Cowboys able to clear. Cowboys doing an excellent job so far in this period. When there is a rebound given up, the Cowboys defensemen doing a good job of getting the sticks in the way of the Rams forwards. The power play's over now. So for 4 power play opportunities, the Rams cannot get it past Easterwood. Solkes from behind his net. Rams having a little bit of trouble getting out. And then neutral zone pass intercepted. May on the stick for Thomas. Turn around. Back to Thomas, his brother to brother. Thomas wasn't able to get his shot on. Braxton and Daxton on the same line. Up to Joe. A shot turn around. Sent wide of the net. Lotzler will fight for this in the corner. Wild will get on his horse to try to cut this off. Pushed up and out of the ice. Will be a foot race. Abi Prime Morales trying to get around there too. He gets hit with the shoulder. It's going to be the 5th power play for the Rams. And Lotzler is going to get caught with that one with his hit from the shoulder. So 3 minutes and 14 seconds left. The power play is heavily favored for the Rams. The score favors the Cowboys. Want to thank all 58 of you for tuning in to tonight's game. Sean Rosenberger with you all. We're happy to bring you the first game of the playoffs, brought to you by Sagent Financial. Tyler Shawns will step in for this faceoff. Second power play unit out. Rams win the faceoff to Newmeyer. Over to Vaughn with the space, a shot and a glove save by Easterwood. He had his spot picked, but Easterwood saw that all the way. If you're just joining, first period recap, the Cowboys scored in the first 10 seconds of the game. Braxton Thomas scored the first goal. Daxon Thomas scored the second goal just a couple minutes afterwards. And Mario Rodriguez adding the third goal to this first period party for the Cowboys. Rebound there from the shot from the point. Cowboys able to clear it down the ice. Again, it's just the recipe for success for this penalty kill for the Cowboys. They're letting the shots get given up, and Easterwood's coming up with the first save. And again, they're doing a good job in the blue paint to clear that puck. The top of the zone, Sledge rebound. No one's home to put it. Takes a ricochet off of the Cowboys bench and out of play. So it'll be on neutral zone face-off on the red circle by the Cowboys bench. So we have only one game for the playoff happening tonight. That is our game. But for tomorrow, MSU and University of Denver will play at 2:30 at the Epic Ice Center. And then the winner of this game will also play tomorrow at 4 o'clock against the CU Buffs. Donnellan took that off the face-off, fell to his rear, and was able to clear it out. Almost a minute gone in the fifth power play for the Rams. Warfield sent it to his deep pair. Good pass for Barton. A nifty move. Wasn't able to get a shot. Millimon with a good stick there. Rodriguez, 1-on-4. So dangerous as a shorthanded opportunity. A shorthanded threat for the Cowboys as North will glove his shot down. So a defensive zone face-off coming up for the Rams on the power play. And definitely the theme of this first period intermission was power play woes, as CSU currently cannot get anything going on the power play. Schmidt looks to answer that. Schmidt stops. Shot blocked into the corner. Hansen will push it behind the net over for Barton. Turn around, had a man out in front. Easterwood will block that in the corner. Barton on the forecheck. Cowboys will get there first. Sokes kept in, trying to backhanded pass. A little bit dangerous there, and Daxon Thomas was able to get that puck and push it into the corner. 26 seconds left on the power play. One last rush for the Rams if they hurry. O'Brien will send this around the corner. Schmidt will try to get there first. Back to O'Brien from behind the net. Loses the puck in the corner, and the Cowboys again will clear this down the ice, and that will do it for the fifth power play of the game. Just a minute left in the first period, a 3-goal game for the Cowboys. Solkes, far near circle, gets it up to Marcus. Marcus puts a shot on, blocked by Bullard. Tipped in the corner. Williamson tried to get into the center of the ice, not able to do so. McGrath, his pass intercepted. And Solkes will be the first one to get it into his corner. Clearing attempt on the skate for Marcus. He might have a burst of speed. Marcus 1-on-2, tries to get around one. McGrath with a good back check, strips that puck from him. Bullard with space, a shot saved by North. North and no rebound given up there, and some pushing and shoving after the whistle. Mario Rodriguez on his behind. Just 36 seconds left in the period. Joe May will step in for the face-off. Wins that cleanly, back to Millimon. Gets it over, slap shot, Thomas, save, rebound, cleared away by momentarily. Another shot blocked by North in the corner. May push it up to Thomas, behind the net, Daxon Thomas. May trades places with the Thomas brothers. Cross ice pass, Bullard, May still with it. Try to get it up to the point. Still with it, Joe May. Gets on to take another shot, and a save by North, but the whistle is blown as I believe the net comes off its morning, as they tend to do so here at the Epic Ice Center. So with 9 seconds left, another face-off. May has done a good job in the face-off dot tonight. Does it again. Turnaround shot blocked by Vaughn. Set play from the face-off. A good-looking play for the Cowboys. Tipped on by Thomas, blocked. And that will do it for the first period. So after 20 minutes played, a disastrous start for the Rams, but on the opposite side, a glorious start for the Cowboys. A 3-goal advantage. As we step aside for the first minute, I'll come back and do a quick intermission report. Until then, we'll step aside. You're watching CSU Ram Hockey here on Price Productions.
It sounds like one of the things you're doing is helping people, one, identify what their values are, two, then identify what their number is, what their life looks like down the line, and then filling in the blanks to get to that goal and adhering to those values.
We don't want to get stuck on what's your number because like I said earlier, when we're dealing with the certainty of uncertainty, markets change, but also the economy changes. Right. Whether inflation is faster or slower along the way, that is one of the other kind of biases in behavioral finance that we talk about is anchoring. If I tell them a number without really doing the work,
all they hear is the number.
They're going to hear that number. And if I come back to them later and the number's higher, they're just not going to move because they've anchored on
Hydrodig, the premier hydrovac and cathodic protection service provider, servicing the western states since 2009. Don't just dig, Hydrodig.
Welcome back to the Epic Ice Center. After 20 minutes of play, it's a 3-goal deficit that CSU faces after one, and we'll bring it back to you and just how it happened. It happened 10 seconds into the first period. A shot from Braxton Thomas gets by Mason Bean, who started this game. As you can see from your replay here, is a shot off of Eustace Harrison into the back of net, and 2 for 1 for Wyoming, as not only did they get the goal there, but Justice Harrison for the Rams goes down, and I don't believe he will return from the game. And you'll see another angle of it as Harrison takes that puck off of what seemed to be his left shin. And just a couple minutes after that, it was Daxon Thomas for the Cowboys, that another rebound off of his pass look from Joe May off of his knees, able to get that over for Daxon Thomas, and that's what made it 2-0. And then shortly after, a great pass from Bullard over to Mario Rodriguez, and he just absolutely roofs it. So after after one period of play, this is where we stand at 3-goal advantage for CSU, and it wouldn't come without CSU's chances there. A period that had 5 power play opportunities for the Rams, and none of them were able to get past Jesse Easterwood. And give credit to Easterwood. He's seeing the puck very well tonight, but the defense around him in the blue crease doing a good job of clearing the rebounds and keeping the CSU away from the danger areas. And so we'll see as this game goes on if CSU gets another power play opportunities, if that will be a factor that will get them back into this game. It needs to be. And on another for the second period, you just got to keep Wyoming. You have to keep yourself out of the penalty box if you're CSU, and you have to keep this top line of Wyoming under check, as Mario Rodriguez and Ian Bullard and Joe May, all factors so far in tonight's game. Braxton and Daxon Thomas as well. So a rough first period for the Rams, but still 40 minutes to see if they can crawl themselves back into the game. We want to give a look at how the Big Mountain Hockey Conference playoffs will go over the weekend. We have tonight's game between CSU and Wyoming. Tomorrow at 2:30 p.m., it will be MSU against the University of Denver. We'll have that game here on Price Productions. And then the winner of today's game will go on to face CU at the CSU Rec Center at 3 o'clock. And then the game between the championship will happen on Sunday at 1:45 at the Promenade Ice Center, and we'll see who will skate away with the conference final victory. We'll look over the standings right now with the rank. There's 27 teams in the West region. Oklahoma State is in first, Weber State in second, but we'll go over to the teams in our conference. The University of Colorado currently sits at the 7th rank with a 20-7 record, and we'll jump all the way down to the 15th place where University of Denver is currently housing. And the key part about the regionals for the ACHA is that the top 16 teams get to advance and go and play in a regional before they go to nationals. So the University of Denver on that cut line, so these games that they have will be a huge factor in whether they can stay in the top 16 or if they will fall below. A couple of points: teams no longer receive an automatic bid to nationals, and again, the teams ranked 1 through 16 will battle out in a regional tournament for bids for national. The West Regionals will be held Friday, February 20th to Saturday, February 21st, and they'll be hosted at the University of Utah at the Salt Lake City Sports Complex. After that, the Nationals will be held in St. Louis in Missouri, and from March 12th to the 17th, and we'll see which team can skate away with the national championship. In our game, the Rams need to go to work, climb back from a 3-goal deficit. We'll step aside and we'll be back for the second period just moments away. Welcome back to the Epic Eye Center. We want to give a shout out to the Thread the Needle. Ordering jerseys used to be a nightmare, not anymore. Custom fit, pro quality, delivered in 4 weeks or less. If you ever deal with late orders, cheap materials, or gear that look like nothing like the mock-up, you're not alone. TDN was made by hockey players for hockey players. We built Thread the Needle to fix that mess, real design help, elite level gear, and turnaround times that don't leave your team hanging. Go to www.threadtheneedle.com. Both teams make their way back on the ice. We'll start 5-on-5, no carryover penalties. And again, as I mentioned just in the intermission, just the key of this game is, will CSU be able to cash in on their power plays if they get any? With the remainder of the game, the refs so far in this game have not been shy blowing that whistle. So that's something for both teams that have to be aware of. For CSU, you have to play disciplined hockey for the remainder of this game. You cannot give the Wyoming power play any chances to skate away with a further lead. Face off, push back into the Ram zone. Warfield will push this over to Wild. Petz will retreat this, clearing attempt, blocked and kept in the zone. Warfield from the corner. Thomas barreling on him. Warfield feeling the pressure. Thomas to Thomas. Out, a good pass back to the point. McGrath, shot from the tipped behind the net. He had Daxon Thomas right in his zone, and this puck will get set up and out of play into the netting. We want to apologize for the lag we are experiencing in tonight's game. We want to bring you the best viewing experience, and we apologize that on our end. We're trying to get those things set out in the intermission, so please give us a feedback in the comments if the game's still laggy or if we have any issues with our audio. Shot from the point, glove save by North. Shot coming from Rodriguez. I mentioned both CSU D1 and D2 teams are currently playing, and the foot traffic that we have in the Ice Center is both teams good, a lot of fans in attendance. A good turnout for both sides. Turnaround shot, Easterwood makes save, rebound shot, saved by Easterwood, where is it? And Easterwood covers it up. A couple of good chances from the Rams, and afterwards, Donnellan and Schmidt exchange Snapchat handles. A good chance opening up in the second period. Easterwood was able to follow with that all the way. See it on your replay. Warfield sets this up, and a turnover right in front of the net. Excuse me, this was replays back from the first period. Go over to the face-off, won by the Rams. Vaughn will collect it from the point. Tipped, saved by Easterwood. Schmidt with a good tip there. Turnover by Barton, and there's going to be another penalty coming up for the Rams. Jared Barton got interference with on his way to the net. So Lotzler for the Cowboys will sit it in. So this will be the 6th power play opportunity. I repeat that, 6th power play for the Rams. So sitting in the box, that's number 13, Lotzler. See if the Rams can do something with this. A turnover quick. Rodriguez had a step there. This is going to be a penalty on Vaughn, as Vaughn interfered with Rodriguez. He had a step, and Vaughn put his body in the way. You can't do that. So just like their second power play of the game, the 6th one will be short-lived as Vaughn will skate into it. It'll be 4-on-4. Last 4-on-4 opportunity, advantage Wyoming. It's where Mario Rodriguez was able to roof it past Cross North. So Vaughn in the box, Lotzler in the box for the Cowboys. A minute 53 of 4-on-4. Soquez off the face-off, trying to get it out there. Rodriguez and Donnellan will get it up to Bullard. He surveys the blue line. Back to Donnellan. Venice, shot tipped up and out of play. Good stick by Jared Barton there. Shots are favored CSU. They lead the shot department 16-12. Shout out to my producer, Brendan Bryce, for following the shots here. We don't have a shot tracker on the boards here at the Epic Ice Arena, so Bullard looking for the tip from Donnellan. It goes off his skates onto the stick of Sleds. Sleds shot from the point, saved by Easterwood, and he'll hold on to this puck. So face-off coming up in the Cowboy zone. Tyler Shawns will step in and go against Joe May. Still 4-on-4, a minute 22 left. As Daxon Thomas will get this up to his brother. Over to McGrath. Takes it to the near circle, behind the net. 2 Rams on him. Thomas has tried to push it out in the slot, intercepted by Hansen. May backhanded pass over from McGrath. Not a little intercepted by Shawns in the neutral zone. He'll push this into the corner and go on the foot chase. May will get this over to McGrath. The Rams got a line change. Now Patrick McGrath in the neutral zone. 42 seconds left, 4-on-4. McGrath takes it to the near circle. Tried to get center right there. He'll take a big hit from Luke Hansen. The Rams trying to get it out. Slaw with May on him. He'll take a check from May, but is able to push it there. Hansen with some room, a shot sent over the net. Oh, Luke Hansen was that close to getting onto the board. Amos on the right side had a step on that. North will come out of his crease to play it. Over for Hansen, good backhanded pass over for White. White tried to push it back to Hansen with the space, and the Rams are offside. And the frustration for Luke Hansen continues on this shift. So neutral zone face-off. David Marcus will step in against Amos. Wesley Amos. And the Cowboys win the face-off. Struber trying to look for Struber, excuse me. It was number 22 with the stretch pass there. That was Evan Heck. So that will do it just about for the 4-on-4. Lotzler goes back to the Cowboy bench. Vaughn is still in the Rams bench. Only 7 seconds of power play time for the Cowboys. But there's offensive zone face-off coming for the Rams, so that will pretty much do it for that opportunity. Marcus in the face-off, cleanly won over to Warfield. Warfield tried to get it to D, but he fanned on the pass. Struber will get this over to Amos. Shot from the point, blocked by Warfield into the corner. 2 Rams on him, Marcus and Warfield. Struber and Amos. Warfield able to strip this puck. Excuse me, that's Lucas Wild. Tip this up and into the corner. On net, Easterwood will cover this up with a glove, and coming in like a bowling ball, Lucas Wild almost pile drived Jesse Easterwood into the net. He was able to avoid it. Thank goodness. Those plays are always scary. You never want any one of your players to crash into the net. He's able to narrowly avoid Jesse Easterwood. Cowboys will get Bullard, Rodriguez, and Donnellan out. They check on their goaltender, make sure he's okay. Well, Marcus again in the faceoff. Donnellan won that cleanly into the corner. Pushes it up to Rodriguez. Try to backhand pass, intercepted by Marcus. Getting pressure in the neutral zone. Bullard able to strip this away. Ian Bullard behind the net, using his big frame. Back to Donnellan. Had Rodriguez out in front. Over to Heck. Surveys the blue line. Trying to get a shot on. Blocked in the corner. Rodriguez on pursuit. Wild will cut it off. Clearing the tap, kept in by Heck. Heck still with it, but the Rams able to get it down. Pass was looking for Marcus. Nearly avoids getting his head ripped off by Bullard. You do not want Ian Bullard to put his 6'3", 215 frame on you. Rodriguez to the near circle. Tried to drop it off to Bullard, got intercepted. The Rams try to push it up to Harrison. Easton loses the puck and takes a tripping penalty as well. He trips Lotzler down. So a power play coming up for the Cowboys. So Easterwood vacates the net. 6-on-5 is Bullard in his own zone, clearing attempt. Rodriguez, cross-ice pass, Donnellan. Over by the Rams bench, backhanded for Bullard. Bullard still with possession. Petz, good back chest by Carson Petz. And the Rams finally touch it up. So it was a near breakaway opportunity for Easton Harrison while he was having trouble collecting the puck. He tripped Lotzler, and so that will do it. It will be the second power play opportunity, full power play opportunity, I might say, for the Cowboys. Already down 3-0. I would say that one weak point of the Rams have been their power play, but on the opposite, their penalty kill has been pretty good this year. Nolan Berg on the ice. Wearing number 63 for the Cowboys. Gets it over to Daxon Thomas. Berg from behind the net. Pushes it up to McGrath from the boards. Play pitch and catch. And Berg loses control of the puck. Vaughn tried to intercept at him. Clearing attempt by Petz, not able to get it out. Cowboys keep it in momentarily. And clearing attempt, Petz started streaking the other way. Was looking for a shorthanded opportunity. The Rams do finally clear it out. So behind the safety of his own net, McGrath will trade places. Rodriguez will take the puck off his stick. A minute left in this power play for the Cowboys. The Rams cannot afford to give up a goal here. Vaughn, clearing attempt, takes a favorable ricochet off the boards out into the Cowboy zone. Easterwood pushes over for Donnellan. They start the transition again. Bullard shielding Slaw away. Will take a big hit. Corner. That was Luke Hansen putting Bullard down. A good hip check there. Both of them took that brunt. Donnellan, far circle shot, save, rebound. Bullard, fans on the shot. He had a wide open net, panicked a little bit. Rodriguez from the point shot gets back to Bullard. Another shot saved by North. A couple of good chances there from the Cowboys. And Ian Bullard that close to making it a full 4-goal game. Back to Bullard, backhanded shot, and North will cover this up. Just 16 seconds left on this power play. Again, I want to apologize to everyone in the chat about the lagging issues that we've had. We'll do our best to continue to monitor that and fix that throughout the game. Ian Bullard from the near circle had a wide open net. North was sprawling to try to get back, fanned on the shot, and that close again to making it a 4-0 game. So face-off, pushing into the Ram zone. That will do it for the Cowboys' power play. Rodriguez pushes it in the corner. O'Brien will forecheck him there. Barton tries to slip the puck away from Bullard. Jared Barton still battling for it. Gets pushed into the corner. Rodriguez waiting. The Cowboys are able to exit the zone. Stretch pass a little bit too far from Donnellan. No icing here. Play continues. Wild. Can't get to the puck. Amos out in front of the net. With it now, Donnellan in the corner. Over to Venice. Venice from the point. Shot saved by North. Over to O'Brien. Barton will get it back to O'Brien. Gets it around Rodriguez. He'll race this into the corner. Jackson O'Brien. Will this be Jackson O'Brien's last game for CSU? Warfield has to wait for O'Brien to tap up. Barton, forechecking there, lays the hit on Venice. Good forecheck from the Rams side this shift, Schubert gets it out into the neutral zone. Vaughn will cut this off, get it over to Schmidt, not able to hold it. Again, another intercept by Kirk Slaw. He'll send this up and around for Sleds. Sleds gets around one check. Two Cowboys on him. It will just trickle out into the near corner. The Cowboys able to collect possession of it. Through the neutral zone, racing forward is Simcox. Behind the net, try to get it down the front. Block, gets back to his stick. Simcox still within the corner. Will take a hit from Vaughn. Vaughn trying to push it up to Sleds. Sleds will take a forechecking hit from Simcox, and the Rams so far having a hard time getting out of their zone this play. 11:37 left in the second period. Still a 3-0 game. Rams trying to battle back from an early deficit. It's in the neutral zone. Take a big hit from Sleds. Connor Zeds laid the boom on Simcox in the neutral zone. Moyabed in his own zone. Trying to push this up. Neumeier will cut up in the neutral zone. As Namillan will take a trip, and they're going to call this. Might happen away from it. If it's Neumeier going to the box, it was going to be a tripping penalty. But it's Aubrey Primorales instead. I believe the penalty happened away from the play from where I was watching. But it's another power play opportunity for the Cowboys, the second of the period. Penalty kill did well for the Rams in the last opportunity. Let's see if they do it again. Daxon Thomas from the safety of his net gets it over to May. Back to Thomas. With speed through the neutral zone. Try to get it around one, takes it behind the net. Still with it, Thomas. Out in front, had Berg not able to get a shot, and a good stick there by Luke Hansen. The Rams able to clear it down the ice. Minute 25 left on this power play. McGrath will skate this in onside. Take it behind the net, 2 Rams on him. Marcus try to get a check on him. Gets it up to May from the blue line. Shot from the point, good blocker save. And this one might be played with a glove. I'm not sure. Nate Solquez grabbed that puck down, threw it. I was expecting a whistle there. But I guess if it didn't touch another Rams stick, that one would count as a hand pass, so. That puck jumped straight up in the air after North saved it. And Rodriguez will put a big hit in the boards, and I think Rodriguez is going to go in the box for this. Mario Rodriguez absolutely bulldozed Luke Hansen. Maybe put a little bit of extra in that. So we'll see who goes to the penalty box with this one. So far, the penalties have come often in this game. We've already seen 6 power plays for the Rams and 3 for the Cowboys, a couple of 4-on-4 opportunities as well. So you see in the replay, you see the hit in the boards. Good shot there from my camera woman, Claire Kostelnik, getting that shot. So nobody's heading to the box now. Rodriguez stays on the ice. So no penalty. Still 5-on-4. With 46 seconds left to operate. Face off won by the Cowboys, push out into the neutral zone. Ian Bullard. Give it over to Rodriguez. Talk about Bullard. He had 18 goals and 25 assists last year in the 25 games played. But here's Donnellan. Top of the slot, turnaround shot. North makes the save. Cross North in for relief on Mason Bean, who only faced 3 shots in the game, but he gave up 2 goals. And since that, North has given up a goal himself, but really settled into this game. That is good news for the Rams. They're trying to battle back into this. Bullard will keep this in the zone, take it to the far circle. Drops it over to Donlin. Now to Struber. Gets it back to Donlin. Out in front, had Amos not able to get a shot. Rodriguez keeps it in. Push it down to Donlin. Back to Amos. A shot from the point, and North were able to get a piece of that. Cowboys doing a good job of keeping into the zone until then. A stretch pass here has Harrison, and again, that's 2 short breakaway opportunities for Harrison. He wasn't able to control the puck as Aiden Schmidt puts a hit on Bullard. Steals that puck, looking for Barn, turnaround shot up and out of, it stays in play. I thought it was going to hit the screen. Good chance by Schmidt, wasn't able to get it on net though. Cross ice, turnaround shot sent wide. Easterwood came out of his net to play that. Gets around 2, quick developing 2-on-1. Amos over to Rodriguez, a save by North. O'Brien will collect the rebound, gives it up to O'Barton. 3-on-2 for the Rams. Drops it off for Schmidt at the top of the slot. Schmidt shot, save, rebound! And Barton was right there, but he couldn't put it home. Oh, the Rams asking all the right questions. Just not getting the answer they're looking for. Barton will send this up into the corner. Schmidt will lay the body on 2 Cowboys. Newmeyer will back off from the blue line, gets it up for Braxton Thomas. Cross eyes and a shot, and it's tipped wide by Amos. Out in the zone again. A couple of good chances for the Cowboys. And again, the Rams look to counter. Another 3-on-2 if they hurry. O'Brien from the far circle with shot, save, rebound. Gets pushed into the corner. Jesse Easterwood doing a good job in this game. Couple of high danger chances from the Rams. And a weird bounce almost caught Easterwood by surprise as this puck will get sent into it. Amos is going to beat the icing and take it behind the net. To the point, Lotzler will send this back to Amos. In the corner, and Hansen trying to fish the puck away from him. Amos able to keep possession. Out in front for Heck, a shot saved by North. Rebound covered up by North. 7:06 left in the second period, no goals. A couple of power plays, but both goaltenders putting on a show. See on your screen, both teams registering 19 shots. Amos from the faceoff, tied up, kept in by the Cowboys. Shot from the point, sent into the corner. Struber will play this around, back to Amos. Able to fend off 2 Rams in the corner. Sean's backhanded, looking for Sleds a little bit too far from him. Sleds able to maintain that puck. In the corner, 2 Rams converge on it. Trying to get that forecheck going. Slaw able to get it up to Hansen, kept in, back over. Looking for the direction of Slaw, a little bit too far from him. Sleds pitching in from the point. And Zolkes was trying to pinch in there. Struber on the other way with the counter, using his body. Struber, a shot and save by North. Christian Struber. They don't have his height and weight on the ACHA website. A shot from Sean's gets tipped behind the net, but Christian Struber, they don't have his height and weight. But that is a big boy as Struber gets hit in the face, and there will be a call on Luke Hansen as he catches Struber high in the face. So Hansen will sit in the box, and so the first period that favored the Rams in penalties or power plays, it seems like the second period, Wyoming getting their share of power plays as well. There's been no power play goal scored in today's game so far. The Cowboys scored 4-on-4, but that's about it. So Hansen in the box, another power play opportunity for the Cowboys. Intercepted and sent as far as the neutral zone. Petz trying to sip with the puck. Carson Petz trying to kick it to him, and there's going to be a power play coming up. Marcus trying to get it there, and so 5-on-5 turns into 4-on-4 yet again. As Carson Petz got held up there on his breakaway shorthanded opportunity. I believe it's going to be Joe May that's going to be sitting in the box with that penalty, excuse me. So for a minute 38, 4-on-4, it's going to be a hooking call on Joe May. So Carson Betts will step in for the face-off against Mario Rodriguez. Rodriguez wins it cleanly behind the net. So open ice for both of the teams. Warfield having trouble with that. Rodriguez will counter. It's at the top of the slot. Turnaround shot. Had North going the other way. Wasn't able to get the puck on net. Marcus gets tripped down. Bullard in the zone, a shot and a good block. And a stick. Warfield shattered. So a 4-on-3. A shot from the point again, and North will cover this up. Logan Warfield's stick shattered on him from the shot from Bullard. Minute 11 left in the 4-on-4. Joe May and Luke Hansen, the two players in the box for each team. Donlin wins his back to Bullard. Shot from the point, blocker saved by North. Gives it over to Venice off the rebound. Cross ice, had Bullard there a little bit too far from him. Bullard was streaking in from the top of the far circle. Venice over to Bullard, a little bit too far from him. And Max Neumeier will cut this off in the corner. Good forecheck by Bullard. Below the circle, Rodriguez a shot and a save by North. From behind the net, below the trapezoid, Bullard with Neumeier on him, tried to shake it free. Does so momentarily. Gets it over to Rodriguez. Two Rams on him and a good defensive play by Vaughn Barton. Rams look to get some 4-on-4 time themselves. Cowboys will get a change, and through the change, Tyler Vaughn with O'Brien. Far circle, and Vaughn was not able to get a shot there. Good defensive play by Donlin. Venice on his horse. Through the neutral zone, has Struber to his right. Venice, shot, save, rebound comes out to the slot. Barton off the point, and no Ram was there. Not enough on the puck for an icing, so Amos will continue play. Over to Berg, a 21-second power play opportunity for the Rams, but the Cowboys with possession of the puck. O'Brien's off the bench. Wild will push this over to Williamson. Soquez trying to get in the neutral zone, denied on the first try, off the skate, and Williamson will collect the loose puck. Over to White, power play over, back to 5-on-5. Berg in the corner, turn around on the stick of Wild in the neutral zone. Shot from a deep distance, Easterwood able to shoulder that aside. In the corner, Soquez trying to keep this in, does momentarily. Marcus off his body. Drops it down for Williamson, a tough angle shot, rebound, 2 saves by Easterwood. Joe May pushes out into the neutral zone. Soquez will kick it over for Wild. For Marcus, White will push this into the corner. I like what I've seen from the Rams in this period, just not able to get anything past Easterwood. Rams will get a full change. Sled on the forecheck, pushes it into the corner. Will come to the stick of May. Clearing attempt blocked, pushes it over. Sleds in the corner, up to the point. Neumeier, a shot from the point, and a tip sent wide of the net. Shawns gets it back to Neumeier, pushes it over for Vaughn. Out in front in the middle of the net. Turnaround shot from Shawns, puts it into the corner. Sleds, turnaround shot again, and it gets sent off wide of the net. Retreating into the neutral zone, Neumeier will send this back towards the direction of Easterwood. And Lotzler will collect this in the corner. 2 minutes left in the second period. Still a 3-0 game. Sleds not able to push this in, and Connor Sleds puts Venice on his butt near the Rams bench. This will trickle down to North, and it will push this over for Warfield. Warfield over to Sleds, two Cowboys able to dodge the pressure there, and Donlin loses his stick. Shawns play continues though, no call. Warfield with the bump there. Sleds will try to push this over for Slaw. 3 Cowboys in the vicinity, and finally will come out. Minute 39 left. Pushed into the corner. So the Rams will get another line change. Lotzler will collect this. A stretch pass was looking for Rodriguez. He'll beat the icing. Play will continue. Period dwindling down. Both teams trying to travel through the neutral zone. O'Brien tries to get it over to Barton or Schmidt. Got intercepted before so. Bullard now. Off the boards, and this might, no icing here. They wave it off. They do call it. I heard one referee say no. The other one does. So 1 minute left. Offensive face-off for the Rams. Can they get on the board before the end of the period? And a good replay there from our corner camera. Sleds put Venice into the boards. Aiden Schmidt will step in for the face-off against Donlin. couple of good chances from Schmidt. We've seen him trying to tip some pucks in on the power play, and Aiden Schmidt in the second half of the season has been snake bit. Got a couple of goals in the Big Mountain Hockey Classic. Other than that, the goal-scoring touch for Aiden Schmidt, trying to find his rhythm again. He needs to do so if the Rams want to continue. Captain Berg in circle will send it up and around the boards. McGrath will cut this off and send it behind the net. Berg with Wild on him, Hansen. And stay in for Amos. Typhoon shot, North makes the save. Berg back in the corner. Gets it over to Amos, another shot sent up and out of the Ram zone. 8 seconds left, and this might just do it for the second period. McGrath will take this into the neutral zone. And that will do it for the second period. After 40 minutes of play, no goals in the second period. A lot of power plays for either side, but Jesse Easterwood and Cross North doing what they need to. And shout out to North coming in relief of Mason Bean, doing what he can to keep his team in. We'll step aside. We want to give a shout out to Play It Again Sports. Sell, buy, trade, and win. You may never outgrow your favorite sports, but you may outgrow your equipment. Your locally owned Play It Again Sports provides an easy way to sell your quality used sports and fitness gear and get paid on the spot, or trade up for what you need now. 13075 West Almana Parkway, Lakewood, Colorado 80228. Go to www.playitagainsports.com, location/Lakewood. We'll step aside. We'll come back for the second intermission. You're watching CSU Rams hockey here on Price Productions.
My name is Satchel, 33 years old.
Eden. Taylor, 23 years old. Jordan.
Landon, I'm 25.
Julia, I am 36. One financial habit I'm proud of is that I finally started taking taxes out of everything so that I can put some money aside for the end of the year, because you just never know what's going to happen.
I always like to keep $1,000 saved just in case of emergency, or if I'm not paid before a bill is due, then I can borrow for myself and be able to pay those bills on time. And then when I do get
In some ways.
Hydrodig, the premier hydrovac and cathodic protection service provider, servicing the Western States since 2009. Don't just dig, Hydrodig.
My name is Satchel, 33 years old.
Eden. Taylor, 23 years old. Jordan.
Landon, I'm 25.
Julia, I am 36. One financial habit I'm proud of is that I finally started taking taxes out of everything so that I can put some money aside for the end of the year because you just never know what's going to happen.
I always like to keep $1,000 saved just in case of emergency, or if I'm not paid before a bill is due, then I can borrow from myself and be able to pay those bills on time. And then when I do get my check or whatever I'm paid, then that money I took out, I can put back in my savings account. So I'm just really proud of that.
I hate my parents will always be there if I like need to borrow money, and I absolutely hate it. I hate asking for money, taking out any sort of loan, and I think the only time I've ever been in like a credit card situation, like my parents were able to help me and then I paid them back. Just the fact that it scares me to death to not be able to pay my credit card. That doesn't mean, I'm like saving tons of money, but I just feel I can't like function if I don't have money in the bank, at least somewhat to support myself. I think that's healthy in some ways.
Welcome back to the Epic Ice Center here in Fort Collins, Colorado. The first round brought to you by Sagent Financials. We want to also give a shout out to Long Building Technologies. Long Building Technologies engineers secure services and automated systems in commercial buildings. Our service offers include HVAC equipment, building automation, security solutions, HVAC service, and parts. We are headquartered out of Colorado and have additional offices in Alaska, Idaho, Montana, Oregon, Utah, Washington, and Wyoming. Our mission is to deliver innovative building solutions and positively impact every person our business touches. Go to www.long.com. So after 40 minutes of play, it's still 3-0, all of the goals coming back in the first period, and it was a story of who had the better penalty kill in the second period. Both teams, like I mentioned, trading power play opportunities back and forth, and the Wild penalties and the CSU penalty killers doing a good job of protecting their goaltenders, and Jesse Easterwood and Cross North making some stellar saves. It could have been 4-0 if Ian Buller didn't fan on a shot that he had on the near circle that he fanned on, had an open net, wasn't able to put it back home. So the story of the third period, does CSU do the Rams have it in them to crawl back in this game and tie it up and potentially skate away with the victory? And I like what I saw in the second period from the Rams. The forechecking was a little bit better, the passing was a little bit better, and the chances out in front in the offensive zone and Jesse Easterwood, they're there, just a couple of inches and more passing plays to break Jesse Easterwood in this shutout that he's pitching. And we'll see if the Rams have it in them to climb back in this game. And you have to start out fast in the third period, potentially draw a penalty and get the power play going, which has been your sore spot the entire season. And as of right now, it's the reason why you were down in this game. And of course, losing Justice Harrison is a big blow for the Rams, and that is we hope that he's okay. If you missed it in the beginning of the period, it was a shot that he blocked that led to a goal by Braxton Thomas that had him out in the game just 10 seconds. So we'll see if the Rams can muster up a comeback when we come back in the third period. You're watching CSU Rams hockey here on Price Productions. This third period is brought to you by Brought to Reality, honoring the life and legacy of one of our own, Nick Bales. Nick created an apparel brand called BTR as a way of combating the challenges of mental health awareness, anxiety, depression, and suicide prevention. Will and Mariah Bales, his mom and dad, turned BTR into a foundation through December 2025 and have provided over 2,084 counseling sessions and contributed over $176,000 to those who could not afford it. With over 170 plus student athlete seasons representing BTR, let's not lose one more individual. So both teams back on the ice for the final period, and some work to do for the Rams, trailing by 3. We'll see if they can crack the code. That is Jesse Easterwood tonight. He's played phenomenal for the Cowboys, and it's his second year with the team as Jesse Easterwood. He played 17 games with the Connecticut Chiefs in the Eastern Hockey League. He had a 5-10-2 record in that year, but playing phenomenal tonight. And in his first matchup against the Rams, that's the one that they won 5-2. But since then, it was a 4-2 win for the Cowboys and a back-to-back 4-2 wins for the Cowboys in the last 2 meetings between these two teams. And the Cowboys doing a good job of, well, I would say doing a good job of staying out of the box, but as we've seen throughout the game, giving up 7 different power plays is not the recipe for success, but in this game it's worked for the Cowboys. But you can't keep giving the opportunities to this Rams side, and they're hungry to find their first one, and they got to score early in this period if they want to have a chance to come back into this game. Again, I want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight, wherever you're watching. Without you, we would not be able to do what we do. As the puck is underway, as Tyler Vaughn in his own zone. Try to turn this up, and Thomas will keep it in momentarily. O'Brien, one-on-one the other way. That's Tyler Shawns. Easterwood will come out of the net and play it. Slaw from the point, slap shot sent behind the net. Sleds will receive this puck to the near boards. McGrath with Slaw on him. Connor Sleds able to get that puck from below the net. Has a couple of Rams out in front, and Sleds will take a check into the corner. Slaw out in front of shot, they score! Tyler Shawns with a back pass from, Kirk Slaw. And the Rams, just like I said, get on the board and make it a 3-1 game. That will be his first goal of the year, Tyler Shawns. Is his second year with the team. He had 4 goals last year in 24 games. But doing what the Rams need and get on the board early. 30 seconds gone by in the period. Aiden Schmidt, and I believe that was Millimon that took a tumble there. And so the intensity picking up early in this third period. The exact start that you needed for the Rams. Schmidt will try to send this out into the slot. Rams will send this back into the corner. Millimon will push this up to Rodriguez. Now with a 2-goal deficit for the Rams. There's going to be a penalty coming up. I believe it's going to be on Tyler Vaughn as he brought down Ian Bullard. So after getting a goal, the Rams will have to go back on the penalty kill. Tyler Vaughn is frustrated with that one, kicks the boards in the penalty box. So big moment in this game. Can CSU kill this penalty off and keep themselves right in it? May will win this back for Thomas. A shot that's off the mask of North. Gets pushed into the corner of the Rams. Marcus will push this up over to Petz. If they hurry, Marcus on his left. Petz will skate this in, trade places, and a good stick by Thomas to deny that chance from the Rams. Petz with the forecheck there, kills some more time off this penalty. Thomas over to May, a shot tipped up and out of play. Minute 30 exactly left on this power play opportunity. You have a feeling power play goal here would be devastating for the Rams' chances to come back in this game. Donelin wins this back to Bullitt, pushes it over for Struber. Shot from the point, tip save, rebound, North covers up. It's one thing that North has been doing well tonight. We've seen him in a couple of games be a little bit rough with the rebounds, but not giving up the rebound opportunities after the first save is across North. Donelin tied up. Rams will push it into the corner. Amos will send his back to the point. Over to Bullard. Shot blocked before it got to the net. Sleds. Clearing attempt. Blocked by Amos. Struber will push his over for Bullard. Up and it will go out of to the zone. Cowboys will have to touch up. Bullard, nifty move. Gets around a couple of Rams. Shot blocked. Good positioning there by Soquez. Rams will clear this up as far as the blue line, and Rodriguez will hustle back to retrieve the puck. 52 seconds left in this power play for the Cowboys. Donelin gets this puck over to Rodriguez, pushes it up to Bullard. Soquez will turn this up and it will almost touch the ceiling here. It does touch the ceiling here at the Epic Eye Center, so the whistle blows. .35 seconds left on the Vaughn Minor. Joe May will step in for the faceoff against Kirk Slaw. Slaw will push him into the corner. Two Cowboys converge off it, the faceoff. Over to Thomas, pushes it over to his brother. White pushes his man down. Daxon Thomas from his butt keeps it in momentarily. Gets it over to Berg from behind the net. Gets away from him, and Hansen will clearing attempt off the skates of May. Good play by May to keep it in. Soquez strips this up and sends it down the ice. Good stick by Nate Soquez. After the keep in for the Cowboys to keep it in. Thought a chance was brewing there on the power play. Nate Soquez with a good back check there. Newmeyer will intercept this puck from the red line. That will do it for the power play. So good penalty kill for the Rams. They can operate back 5-on-5. Will be backhanded in behind the net. Amos will go on the forecheck. Wild pushes over to Harrison. Harrison avoids a check from Struber, but loses the puck. Wild will collect his back in the corner. Glove down by Vaughn. Escape this 1-on-2. Vaughn stop. They shot off the crossbar. Wave it off. Vaughn was celebrating as it went in. No goal. What a good shot from Tyler Vaughn. But still remains a 2-goal game. Lotzler will put this on North. He'll push this into the corner a little bit too far from Sleds, and this will be icing on the Rams. Tyler Vaughn was that close, making it a 3-2 game. Ricocheted off the crossbar. Hockey, ever so a game of inches. And there's the replay from the corner angle there. See if it had a better chance there. You can see it go off of Easterwood. A face off of Rodriguez. A shot North covers up. Set play off the face off. Rodriguez picked his time and his spot. Good save by Cross North. Face off tied up in the Ram zone. Wild will slam this off the boards, get it up to Sled. Had trouble with the puck. Rodriguez shot. Gets blocked. Rodriguez again. Excuse me. That was Bullard with a turnaround shot. Misses the net. Sleds now. Tried to push it up. Over for Shawns, the goal scorer. Donelin will skate this through the neutral zone. Push it in the corner. Neulauer with Donelin on him will push this over for Wild. Good pass on the tape for Shawns. Bullard behind him for forecheck. On his gate, Sleds with Slaw. Shot saved by Easterwood. Neutral zone, Matt Hansen will send this back. Excuse me, that was Zolkes. And the Rams will get a line change. Donelin now from his own zone, off the boards, up the Heck. Evan Heck now. It's intercepted by O'Brien, but in his own zone. Turnaround shot north with the paddle, saves it behind the net. And a good stick there. Rodriguez, excuse me, that was Braxton Thomas. Cowboys with a chance out in front. North makes a save, rebound. It's still there, still loose. And it comes out. The Rams avoided there. I thought it would have been a goal. But a good save by North, and O'Brien tries to split the defense there. Cross North was on his backside. A couple of Rams there to keep that puck out there. Curious to see another angle of that. Schmidt trying to push it up for Harrison. It was a full crease scramble for Cross North and company. And like I said, both sides traveling really well. A lot of fans in attendance for CSU and for the Cowboys. Face off, tied up. Rams collect it. Gets it over to Wild. Wild now. Will dump this up over the cage. Harrison in the corner. With some time, gets it over back. Is that Easton Harrison back on the ice? Excuse me, Justice Harrison back in play. I was just going to mention it. Justice Harrison is back on the ice. And he took a puck to the shin in the beginning of the game. Good to see number 29 back on the ice for the Rams. That is a good sign for the Rams and company if they want to get back in this game. Harrison off the face-off. Warfield not able to glove it down off the boards, but waiting for it was Amos. Amos now. Stopping in the circle, try to get up to the blue point, does. Lotzler, shot from the point. North with a save, no rebound. 13:22 left in the third period. Wyoming leads the shots just by one, 24-23. It's been a close game in that department. Struber, Berg, and Amos will come off. And the top line out for Kerry Heck and company. Over to Lotzler, shot from the point, sent into the corner. Harrison will battle for this, gets it over for Warfield. Pressure on him, will get this out to the neutral zone. Petz, one's trying to one-hand it to himself. Bullard will intercept. Off the puck, Donelin with a short breakaway shot, saved by North. Rebounds there, play continues. Oh, Bo Donelin had a breakaway develop in the Ram zone. Good save by Cross North to deny that chance. In the neutral zone, that's Nolan Williamson. Trying to forecheck on Bullard. Able to keep that puck. Bullard puts it on net, and North will glove this and keep it in play. Warfield from behind the cage. Vaughn. Good move there to get around Bullard. Cowboys, though, doing a good job of keeping the Rams in their zone momentarily. Warfield gains the red line. Will dump this down over at Prime Morales in the corner. Hasn't played much tonight. But he's on the ice now. Out in front of the zone. Williamson gets cut off. Rodriguez will head the other way. Rodriguez will dump this into the corner and go off for a change himself. Now back to Morales, able to get this out to the neutral zone. Thomas will tip this into the zone. Vaughn will collect this loose puck, try to get it up for Morales. Tapping his stick on the ice, wasn't able to get it to him. Sean's off the boards, gets it over to Morales, has Slaw to his left, tried to get it to him, and a good defensive play by Millimon. The Rams keep it in the zone. Morales tried to get around one, loses the puck. And this puck will go into the neutral zone. Solquez up and through the legs of a Wyoming player. Millimon will collect it in his own zone. And on the top, Jackson Thomas, backhanded pass looking for his brother. Shot saved by North. A Thomas to Thomas connection denied by North. got a couple of brothers playing tonight, both Braxton and Daxton Thomas, and then Justice and Easton Harrison. The respective brothers on each side of. Good view of our replay here. A good pass from Thomas over to his brother. North, again, since coming in relief for Mason Beams, really settled into this game. He gave up the goal to Mario Rodriguez, but since then, playing good hockey for the Rams. And this is icing on the Cowboys. So again, for tomorrow, 2 games happening on Saturday. The winner of this game will go on to play CU, and then Metro State and the University of Denver will play the early game, and the winner of those games will go on to play Sunday at the Promenade Ice Center for the conference finals. Sleds off the face-off turnaround shot blocked, kept in though. Up and around the board, Slaw will cut this off in the corner. Takes a funky bounce and the Cowboys able to intercept. Struber puts it to Amos. Gets it back to Struber, backhand shot across the net. Up to Amos, to the slaughter shot off this post. Almost had North beat. McGrath will send this back into the Ram zone off the skates of Wild. Sleds now. Try to push it up to Schmidt, had him a little bit, wasn't able to push the puck to him. Rams will send him into the zone. Only 10 minutes left to operate in our game. Schmidt on the forecheck. Puck will jump to this over to Amos. Gets tipped into the neutral zone. O'Brien on the ice while backhand is looking in the direction of Schmidt. And Schmidt will track this into the corner. Aiden Schmidt able to win that forechecking battle. Barton on the bench. Clearing attempt kept in by the Rams. They're going to call it offsides. That's a tough break for the Rams. From my view, that puck did not cross the blue line at all. But I'm the broadcaster and they're the refs, so I will let them do their. A tough break for the Rams, however. Face-off coming up to the red line. Be Aiden Schmidt in for the face-off against Simcox. Simcox wins back over to Venice. Back to McGrath. Pushes it into the zone. Vaughn will collect this behind his net. Backhanded over for Neumauer. Pushes it up for Barton. Trying to push out of speedy. Barton had him there if he could it over for Venice, but Venice was able to glove it down. In the neutral zone. Tried to push it up to Barton. Trying to get it through the skates of Kaminsky. Shot from the point tipped up and out of play. Excuse me, that was number 9, Carson Kaminsky. With a good play at the blue line to deny the first entry. Face off in the Cowboy zone. Tynak behind the net. Millimon on his horse. Forechecking there is Justice Harrison. Harrison, turnaround shot, tip, rebound! Out in the slot. Harrison again not able to collect the puck, push it up to the point to Hansen. Soka's turnaround shot saved by Easterwood. Harrison forechecking there with his brother out on the ice. Both Harrison's back. Harrison up to Sokes. Sokes surveying, looking for a tip. The shot gets blocked into the corner. Petz. Rodriguez in the corner. 2 Rams on him. Heck trying to get it around. Shot save, put into the corner. Sokes. Rams doing a good job on this shift, looking for a tip. Petz hits him in the body, and the Cowboys able to send this 200 feet down the ice. Bullet on his horse. Hansen got to be careful. Causes the turnover. Rodriguez and the Ram zone in the corner. Up to the point. Heck, the shot tipped, sent behind the net. That hit something on the way. Rodriguez at the near boards. Lotzler battling for possession as well. Thomas will send this into the corner. Sokes will collect it first. Cross eyes over for Petz. Stops on the blue line. Will dump this into the corner. The Rams will get a full line change. 8:09 left in the third period. Time starting to be a factor for the Rams. Pass intercepted by Daxton Thomas, 1-on-2. Good stick there by Solkes. White is looking for Williamson. No touch here, so this will be icing on the Rams. Face off in the Ram zone, tied up, pushed into the boards. May coming in, fish it through into the corner. Marcus pushing into the boards. May will come away with the puck. Backhanded pass on this tape of Williamson. Gets it off the boards. A good move. Williamson on the move. Nolan, diving play, trying to push it over to the center of the ice. Williamson in the corner. Cross ice was looking over for Hansen. Got intercepted by May, and he counters the other way. May is looking for Braxton Thomas. Williamson pushes it up for White. White 1-on-2. Turnaround shot, and Easterwood is able to get a save glove on that. Cross ice for Shaw. The shot saved by Easterwood. Excuse me, that was Max Newmeyer that came from the blue line. Easterwood covers that up. No rebound. .707 left to operate for the Rams. They got a goal in this period, but still down 2. Face-off tied up on his stick for Sleds. He takes it behind the net. Out in front was looking for Shawns. Gets stick tied up by Amos. In the neutral zone now, Warfield on the red line will push his back into his own zone. Wild gets it over to Slaw. Rams will slow things up. Sleds in the neutral zone. Good backhand pass for White. A little bit too out of reach. Rams trying to keep it in the zone. Set on the Easterwood. Will glove this, keep it in play. Venice from behind his net. Newmeyer with a little bit of a forecheck. And in the neutral zone now, and Wild from in his own zone. No icing here. Sends it off the boards over to his D partner, Warfield. Gets a little bit ahead of him. Cowboys able to keep it in the zone. Up to the point to McGrath with space, a shot and a blocker save by North. Struber going to battle behind the net, gets stripped of the puck from Wild. He'll skate this out into the neutral zone. He's looking for Slaw. The Rams are going to be whistle blown here because the door for the locker rooms at the red line open up. That is why the whistle blew. You catch our games tomorrow. The game at CU will be streamed on their YouTube channel. The game at Denver will be streamed on Price Productions. And then the conference final will also be streamed on Price Productions at the Promenade Ice Center. Make sure you tune into those games. 5 minutes left. We'll see what time Doug Sheridan, if he does, pull his goaltender, get the extra attacker. Still a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of time, but maybe a little bit too early to pull North. Vaughn in the neutral zone. Skate this onside. Kicks it to it, drops it over for Schmidt. Donnellan will intercept it, take it to the neutral zone. Donnellan will be the first one here, waiting for reinforcements. Newmeyer in the trapezoid, puts it up for Millimon. Millimon will send this behind the net. Bullard in the corner. A good back check, tips this up and out of play. Glove down, look out on it. Oh, it's Jared Barton that may have a step on it, gets it stripped of the puck. Just 5 minutes left. Time not on the side for the Rams. Schmidt will throw this on net. Easterwood will send this into the corner. Up to the point. Schmidt forechecking. This puck will get sent out of this neutral zone. Over to Hansen. Will push it in the direction of Harrison and keeps it in momentarily and will come out to the neutral zone. Cowboys doing a good job of denying the entry for the Rams. Can't get anything set up in the Cowboy zone. This pass over for Harrison gets intercepted by Millimon. Again, just playing strong blue line defense are the Cowboys. The Rams can't get anything going. We talked about penalties for the first and second period. Plenty of them. For this period, not the same. in terms of power plays. It's been mostly 5-on-5 for the majority of this period. This was icing on, this is icing on the Cowboys, so Justice Harrison will step in on the faceoff dot. Rams trying to cut into this 2-goal deficit. Tied up, pushing in the corner. Harrison will keep this in. Will push it up to the point for Hansen. Hansen around the corner. It's going to be played with a high stick, and so the Rams can't touch it. Kept into the zone. Behind, out in front, had Harrison there, not able to. Soak has a shot. Rebound. Gets pushed into the top of the ice. The Cowboys counter the other way. Moyabed. It's Kaminsky, and they're going to call this an icing to the chagrin of Kaminsky, who seemed to have a step on the Rams defenseman there. Good chance there off the Soquez shot. There was a Rams player streaking down the ice, but it was a little bit too far behind them to be able to push it into the cage. Only 3 minutes left, potentially in the Rams season. See if they're able to tie this up and send it into overtime. Jackson O'Brien in on the faceoff, has Barton to his right, Vaughn to his left. O'Brien tied up, pushed into the corner. McGrath will send this up and around the boards into the neutral zone. Wild will send this back to the sender. Rams are off sides. He's pushing into the neutral zone. North still in his net. Cross ice pass blocked before it got there. Venice was on the right side circle. Numbers for the Rams if they hurry. In the zone, a shot, save, rebound. There's no rebound to be had. Easterwood had that in the glove all the way. Had him going to his right, but he was able to sprawl that glove out. Jesse Easterwood playing a phenomenal game tonight for the Cowboys. Face-off tied up on the stick of Thomas. Pushes it over to his brother. Braxton looking over for Daxon. Gets the stick, a turnaround shot north. Makes the save. Amos, shot from the point, tipped into the glass. Over for Wild, trying to get it out, intercepted by Amos. And Wyoming doing a good job of just killing the remainder of the time. Only 3 minutes to operate. And around the zone, off the bench, Slaw will get this puck, turn it, not able to send it below the net. North still in it. Berg on his horse. Warfield the lone man back. Berg, a shot saved by North, and he will. Rebound was sent behind the net. Millimon from the blue point. We'll put it down over for Struber. The Rams cannot push the issue in the Cowboy zone. This is exactly what Wyoming wants to do to end this game. 2 minutes and 29 seconds left. Rams need to get out of their zone so they can send North to the bench. See if they can establish offensive possession. Not able to do so. Amos through the neutral zone. Onto the stick pad of North. Just 2 minutes left in our game. And again, the Rams just can't get through the neutral zone right now. Very active sticks for the Cowboy side here. Intercepted by Donnellan. He'll skate this in. As the offsides on the Cowboys. We'll see if Doug Sheridan will use one of his timeouts and draw up how he wants to see this final minute and 52 seconds left. So he does use his timeout. Doug Sheridan, Kerry Heck, both talking to the teams on how they want the end of the game to go, and the recipe for success for the Cowboys doing just that. The Rams can't get any aggression into the Cowboy zone. The back checking for the Cowboy side, doing a good job in the neutral zone and breaking up the zone entry for the Rams. during the timeout, we want to, excuse me. Both teams, so CSU is finished with the timeout. Face-off will go to the far side red circle, red dot, excuse me. O'Brien, Barton out, as well as Vaughn and Max Newmeyer. Face-off won by the Cowboys. North will trying to play this. Bullard will get their first turnaround shot, sent behind the net. Over for Harrison, pushes it over for Barton. Not able to collect that puck in his skates. Bullard able to collect the loose puck. Up and off the boards. Vaughn will lay the body here. Then the red line. O'Brien, which pushes over the Barton. Barton with some room. Jared Barton, and a backhand shot saved by Easterwood. Tried to beat him 5-hole, wasn't able to do so. Net is empty for the Rams. North has vacated the area as this puck gets sticked out by Easterwood into the net. So empty net for the Rams. As a one last final push to see if they can get themselves back in the game, down 2. Face-off controlled by the Cowboys, pushed off the boards into the neutral zone. Newmeyer will be the first one there. Again, net is empty for the Rams. This pass off the backside of the net. Vaughn will collect this in his own zone. O'Brien through the neutral zone. Over to Harrison, a shot that gets put into the corner, up and down the ice. Does this have it? And they score. And the Cowboys will skate away from the Epic Ice Center, and they will go on and face CU tomorrow at 3 o'clock. As that empty net goal just about does it here. And the Wyoming bench letting the the Rams players know that their season is all about over. Just 52 seconds left to play. And it'll be a disappointing end to another frustrating season for the Colorado State. Solquez will collect his puck and trying to push it up to Harrison. Gets sent back into the Ram zone over to Hansen. And pushes over to Solquez. 36 seconds left in our game. Gets it over Morales. Backhanded onto the net. O'Brien out in front. Rams trying to see if they can get something going. Morales, cross ice, was looking for Harrison, a little bit too far out of his reach. Thomas will send this up and down the ice, and that will just about do it here at Epic Ice Center. As Thomas will send this back in the net, and your final here tonight. The Cowboys will go on and play against CU after their 4-1 victory. And for the Rams, it will be the end of a season that one can only describe as frustrating. So again, 2 games on the slate for tomorrow. MSU will play the University of Denver at 2:30, and then Wyoming will play CU tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Want to give a big thanks for everyone tuning in week and week out. On behalf of all at Price Productions, my producer, Brendan Price, my camera women, Mary Lindsay and Claire Kostelnik. It was a wonderful season, and we're glad to bring you guys these games and stream them to you and give you an opportunity to see the games if you're not able to make it in Fort Collins. We want to give a shout out to Sagent Financial, the sponsor for this year's playoffs for the Big Mountain Conference. Still the best tradition in all of sports, the handshake line. After 60 minutes of hard-fought battle and hits and words you don't want to hear your grandma say, the handshake line always brings us together at the end. But on behalf of Sean Rosenberger and crew, We thank you for tuning in tonight, and we hope that you guys have a safe year. And we'll be back next year for CSU Ram Hockey. Till then, Sean Rosenberger signing off.